This is the only one we have to have this round until we get the House bills, and we'll see what they send down here. There we go. Here's my vice chair. Mr. Bozeman, I kept here the whole day. So, and you too, David. Both of y'all were here all day for yours. So, we are only going to bring up 3 of these bills that are on the agenda. We're going to call up Senate Bill number 2008, and you do have a committee sub on that. Hold on just a second. Let me get our packet over here to our vice chair. Thank you. So 2008 actually is a bill about recording. On your committee sub, you'll see that all we did is take section 1 and add it. The old bill, the original bill 2008 had the language from 2880 put into it. That way we could just go ahead and deal with it right here. All we're saying is a notice of conveyance of an interest related to a carbon credit or carbon sequestration shall be recorded as an interest in land pursuant to Chapter 5, Title 89 of the Mississippi Code. And that's just a notice provision. If you're familiar in the industry right now, you've got a lot of sequestration going where they're booking up leases where you keep your timber there, they're going to pay you for it. And that's all about the CO2 credits. That's just saying, just put it on notice so that everybody that's running the title on it for the minerals or for the land when they're purchasing the timber has some type of notice as to it being out there. Most people are doing it, but we're just saying that we want to go ahead and see it done. That way we all know. So any questions on that bill? There's not any questions. I would entertain a motion to adopt the committee sub to start with. All right, Mr. Vice Chair. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, now for your next motion.
Title sufficient do pass committee sub.
All right, the motion is title sufficient do pass committee sub. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Very simple bill there. We're going to jump down to 2018. This committee has been so good about creating this program over the past few years and tweaking it so that it gets the eventual benefit that we want. We're thankful to have Mark here from MDA. He is our forestry guru, and my understanding is we have had the program created. The first round of applications came through. We didn't quite get the numbers that we're hoping for, but we had the interest. And at the end of the day, we think that there was just some questions as to whether they could apply for it. We're going to try to fix that. We're going to fix that with some very simple wording. If you go to lines 52, 53, and 54, we're going to pull the project size down from 50 acres to 25 acres. And then we're going to put in to 25 acres of land under public control or an existing wood facility. Just very simple so that we can have expansions that could be 25 acres and the total amount of their investment be pursuant to this. I think we're going to see a much better response as we've got people waiting in the wings right now to get their infrastructure needs in. That's all we did on the bill. Everything else in here actually just says up to $10 million into the program. So we've got a cap in there for the fund. And if you go to line 90, you'll see where the fund based partial, which may be established pursuant to funds by the state legislature. So there's nothing else of substance. That right there, I think, is going to change a lot, and we're going to see people apply and just wipe out our fund, and we're going to be doing it every year. But we do have people in the wings that are waiting to see what's happening. So, any questions on that? Senator Seymour, committee?
Move we adopt committee sub.
All right, I've got a motion to adopt the committee sub. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, next motion.
Title sufficient do pass committee sub.
All right, title sufficient do pass committee sub. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None on that. All right. Last bill is, don't exactly know how we got it in here, but it's a good bill. It's the establishment of the Irish Trade Commission. We have had some talks, believe it or not, with, if you've met Mark Daly, his brother actually runs their forestry program there in Ireland, and he has discussed it with us. This is just creating the Irish Trade Commission, Ireland Trade Commission, Mississippi Ireland Trade Commission, And you've seen it last year. I think it got caught up as some other things did in the fiasco, and I think we're just aiming to get it moved. This is Senator Harkins' bill, and I think there were several co-sponsors on that. So I would entertain questions if there are any. If not, I would entertain a motion.
Title sufficient, do pass.
Title sufficient do pass is your motion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, that will likely be it. Mr. Bozeman, would you like to give us a quick update on what's going on in the commission? How's our timber looking? Yeah, if you don't mind, push that button on that mic quickly.
Apologize. We're doing, timber market is, struggling. Healthy markets create healthy forests. So working with our friends with MDA back here behind me, we're still doing everything we can to find good and healthy markets for the state. We've got the resource. We just need somebody to come use it. We're growing 2 to 1 on average in places across the state. So we're in good shape from a resource standpoint. However, there have been some forest health issues. Everybody who's familiar with the beetle kill that's happened this year as a result of the drought that went through. We've lost $170 million worth of pine timber in the state. So working with both this body and our congressional delegation, looking for any relief for our landowners that we can find. We are very blessed to have some really good landowners in the state. And as long as we keep a little moisture moving through the state, we'll stay out of a wildfire season, hopefully. So spring is here. Right before it started raining a few days ago, we had 28 fires that day, 28 wildfires that day. So we're getting into that season. So remember, don't burn on windy days, y'all. That's all I've got, Mr. Chairman.
I appreciate that. And if earlier we had discussions about, last year we're talking about our woodland firefighters and how they were just stretched thin. This year, thank goodness, we've not had to send any out west, even with the huge fires that are going on out in California. We've not had to send anybody out there yet. So we hope that we can avoid that this year, give them a little break, because we're sure that Mother Nature will come back around at some point. So, yes, sir.
Russell, at the end of last summer from the the Ips beetle damage and the drought, the FSA came up with a plan from Congress, and from the frank discussion I had with the Farm Service, a particular Farm Service agency, nobody was taking advantage of it. It wasn't really much of a program. Do you have hopes that there's a better you mentioned federal aid. Do you have hopes there's something better that's going to help our timber growers?
We do. We, in addition to the hurricanes that moved through the southeast, that created a fair amount of damage to our sister states to the east. In dealing with those disaster responses, we were asked, us, Alabama and Louisiana were asked, because of the amount of forest damage we received from the drought, which led to the beetle infestation, if we wanted to participate in timber block grant program that has only been authorized one time through Congress, and that was after Hurricane Michael. And so we had already tracked the damage. Y'all have probably seen, we had a live viewer on our website. You could go see if in case your property was seeing mortality from the pine beetle, you could go check it out from the air. So we asked to be participants with that. So working with the governor's office, making sure they understood what the program was. We submitted our request. At the end of the day, our request for assistance came to the tune of about $140 million. It's only applicable for private lands. Timber block grants are a value loss reimbursement program. So if you had 100,000 acres worth of timber and it got damaged by that natural event, then you could receive up to $80,000 worth of reimbursement. Now, that was kind of how it went after Michael. Obviously, there's been a lot of discussion about what those percentages may be and that sort of thing. But if there is assistance for forest landowners coming out of DC, we wanted to make sure we were involved in the conversation. It's not a program yet. It has actually passed Congress. It is currently at USDA, and USDA is interpreting what it actually means. And so once we have some idea of what may or may not be coming, we'll certainly let you know. I'm not even 100% guaranteed yet that our damage that was a result of the pine beetle kill is going to qualify, but we're optimistic and working on it. The program you're referring to is the EFRP, Emergency Forest Restoration Program from FSA. we received well over 1,000 applications through that program statewide this year. So it was not a program that was getting a lot of use in the state. It's only after natural disaster events. But we are the technical service providers for FSA on that program. So we have a lot of dead timber to go look at.
The federal program, obviously, many people have had to already react to the damage that was done in the way of, to replant. Many of the consultants are saying they can't get planters willing to go on the property and plant with dead timber standings for the liability. Will it be retroactive to help people that have already had to hire, track hoes and bulldozers to clear pine?
Yes, sir. It's my understanding through FSA's guidance that it will be. One of the good things that we have today that we haven't had in years past is very good satellite imagery. So we can actually go back and see what that stand looked like from the air with very high-res satellite imagery a year and a half, 2 years ago. And then you can see the stands change over time and the pine stands start browning out, and you can see the beetles. So we will have the ability, because that is one of the questions that was raised. If the stand or the track had already been cleared, how do you justify or verify that it was actually a forested stand? And actually satellite imagery has come into play. So working with our federal partners, Forest Service and the Southern Research Station in particular, they've got some really fancy sciencey stuff to allow us to look at those stands and see what was there prior to the beetle kill. Yes, sir.
Very good. And I want to give Mr. Bozeman a little nod here. If you look at, there's two bills we can take up, and that's because he is on a committee that is working towards the EU standards. Those are both aimed at the sustainability stamp. And the reality is that some of our places here in Mississippi are not accepting some timber if they know that it's not going to be reforested. We expect some guidance. I've been talking in that one mic since 8:30 this morning, but we expect some guidance in March from our partners at MFA based upon some of the information that I'm hearing coming down the pipe. Maybe we're gonna get some relief without us having to put anything in legislation. If not, we will revisit that issue next year. The biggest thing is we're not gonna sit around here and willingly allow our private landowners to be told what they're gonna do when your tax dollars are involved. So right now, we're going to do a little wait and see what happens in March. New administration may change some rules. And with the pushes coming from across the board in our industry, we're hoping for some good things to happen there. So any other questions from the committee for anybody? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Rise and report.
Rise and reports motion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you all.